What's the single best pro wrestling advice you ever received or could offer?
Single best piece of advice.
Yeah. The one, I mean, listen, you dropped a lot of nuggets on here, but I think when I hear that, I think about wrestler to wrestler, and I think about story you shared here about advice you got very young in your career. Maybe I could just jog your memory here about how to have longevity and how to have a career and how to make it last. Is that it?
Single best. The
The Fargo line.
I know that's not jogging a memory. What's the Fargo line? Because
You said you gave the exact quote. I'm going to butcher it, but the gist was, Jeff, if you want to have a career, if you want to make money in this business for a long time, that sort of positioning about making sure that you get the most out of everything and that you're not taking all the crazy bumps and
oh
blah
yeah,
blah 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 blah.
yeah,
Longevity being the answer, as opposed to let's just be a Super Bowl and bounce around and
longevities for sure. I think, yeah, because I was going on my grandmother's state.
oh
That
yeah,
that takes
that's classic. Share both with everybody for people who are just listening to this as the
well
first.
that so my grandmother, in a lovingly way, she wasn't thrilled. The story is that she had by this time had worked her way up to what we would call a CFO. She didn't even want her own son in the business, just being a mother, and didn't think it was the best career move. And again, this is in the mid 60s, um, mid to late 60s. She didn't even want my dad, her own son, in the business. And then fast forward 20 years, 84, 85, 86, she definitely was upset. I mean, my mother was furious, and my whole mother's side was furious I was getting in the business. But my grandmother was like, "You're in college, you're freshman in college, keep playing basketball. Just this will be here. Go find another career." And then once I kind of broke in, she sat down a couple of different times, probably more than that, and she said it in a way to me that absolutely resonated. I had been around, and listened to my dad's stories, or Lawler and Dundee, and in the booking room, or just guys come by picking up checks, just kind of understanding what she meant when she just delivered the line, okay, you're in this business, and for you to be successful, you can be, uh, you can learn to wrestle. You can be a great wrestler and all this. Uh, don't be a wrestler. Excuse me. Don't be a wrestler. And what she was saying was, don't have that mentality of never saving your money. Don't look at it. She was very adamant. This is a business. It is a business, and it's only a business. If you're in it for fame or fortune, just kind of, that ain't the right reasons. You got to be in it because it's a day in and day out business, and look at it. But I just butchered my own line, Conrad. You can wrestle, but don't become a wrestler. That was her words, and that really strung it all to this day. Don't be a wrestler. Don't think so short-sighted. There's a big picture. There's a business. Think with your head, not with your heart. All that kind of stuff. And then Fargo. And now at this stage, Jackie Fargo. For those who don't know, he had a couple of working brothers. One was a real brother, but the Fabulous Fargos. They had main evented Madison Square Garden in the 50s. Done promos that were way ahead of their time, took $100 bill and lit a cigar on TV one time. That's how he lit his cigar, but with $100 bill. They were making crazy big money back in time. But Jackie had made his home in Tennessee and worked for the promoter, Nick Goulas, who was the promoter before my father started promoting her in these parts. And Jackie, again, had been around the horn and still drew big money into his 60s, early 70s. And it was all on creating emotion. And, you know, Jackie, we did a deal in Memphis, I guess early 90s, where I was the fabulous one, Jeff Jarrett, and we did some different videos and all that. And this is 6 or 7 years after Stan and Steve, and 3 or 4 years after Tommy Rich and Eddie Gilbert. So it had been done to death, but it was I don't know, a 6-9 month deal, kind of character development deal. But Jackie was very adamant to me about at this stage in his career, I don't want to say he didn't care really. He was just focused. And I've heard this speech come out of Lawler. The finish is all that really matters. What you leave them, the story that you tell them on the out. And it can be on the 1, 2, 3 or after the 1, 2, 3. But the reality is, to create longevity is you got to learn how to talk. And when I say that, anybody can go out and fill 3 minutes of a promo, or 2 minutes, or 1 minute, or 4 minutes, or whatever it may be. But it's that creating emotion the right way, where you connect with your audience, and either you really want them, hate's a strong word, but that's what you want. You want to evoke emotion where people just despise you and want to see you get your ass kicked. Yes, in a scripted way, but they want to see you as the antagonist get your ass beat, or the people really connect with you and want to see you persevere and come out a victor. Those kind of very, very much basics are to me the success or failure of any talent that steps into the ring. Are you going to think like a businessman, and are you going to learn to really talk them in the building?